Hey guys, in this video lecture we'll create user registration form for our blog application. Existing users can now log in, log out and reset the password if they forgot it. Now we need to build a view to allow visitors to create user account. First we will create a form to let the user enter their username, first name, last name and an email address. So and the password as well. So edit the forms.py file and write create a class here, class user registration form, and we'll inherit the forms dot model form itself, and again we have to use model form here to store the result in the database. So we'll create a class meta here to use the model itself, model and the field of that model. So model is equals to user, which is the Django built-in user model. So import that model here from Django dot contrib dot auth dot models import user, and the fields for this model will use fields. Inside the tuple will use username, its first name field, underscore last name, and the email. These are the mandatory fields, and the password we will use not inside the field but inside the user registration form outside the class meta, because we'll use widget password input here, and we'll use password equals forms dot char field, and inside that we'll use widget equals forms dot password, and inside that we'll use its password input. We can also use for the attributes of for this element input type password, and we'll use the attribute for this using attrs equals takes a dictionary like object, and we pass the attribute here which is placeholder, and the value of this placeholder should be enter password here. Just copy and paste this to for the second field. That the second field we will use is the confirm field to confirm the password here. So we'll use confirm password. We have used the additional confirm password field here because to check or match the password entered in the password input field here before it was submitting to the DB. But we really need a logic to make a check or validation for this. So how can we achieve this? We can achieve this by calling the clean method on the fields we have defined. The clean method so we'll define a clean method here, define clean method on, we'll use clean method on confirm password to check if they are equal with the or match with the password itself. That's why we have used clean underscore confirm underscore password. We can also use clean method directly to check all the methods, but we need to check only the confirm password field, which takes the self argument, and now we need to get the values of these input fields, which is the password and the confirm password, to check if they are equal or match. How can we do this? The Django provides the clean underscore data method here, which is by accessing the clean data we'll use form dot clean data here. Form dot clean data, it will get the input value, it will get the values of the while filling the form while and hit the submit button. So we'll get the password field first, and we'll write get self dot clean underscore data dot get, which is the appropriate method. Clean underscore data is the appropriate method to get the field values, and dot get will pass here the name, password, and for confirm we'll do the same with the confirm password field, confirm underscore password and confirm underscore password here as well. Make sure it will not throw any error. It's saying Django, it's Django D, should run is running fine, and we'll check the values if password not equals to confirm password. Will raise the validation error here using forms dot validation, which are built in validation error, which are built in to the form inside the form itself, module itself. We'll pass the text here which says password mismatch. If they are match, if password and confirm password field matches, we'll return just confirm password field. And this block code will be called when we validate the form calling its is underscore valid method while defining the view. So edit the views.py file, and first we'll import the user registration form here, and then we'll define a view for this registration form using define. We'll name it register, which takes an argument request, and we'll check if request dot method double equals to post, and we'll then get the posted data here using request dot post or none. We'll check if form dot is underscore valid. Again, we'll give some space here. So if form dot is valid, we'll create a new user here and save it, but we do not commit it yet as we need to give the set the password for this new user. So we'll set the password here, new user dot set underscore password, and we'll get the field value of the password using form dot cleaned data. Inside the square brackets we'll pass the key here, which is a password field. Actually form gives this form object will give the dictionary like object. In the dictionary like object have the password field defined with the other fields as well. So we'll get the password field to set the password here, and we'll save the user. Now save the user here, new user dot save. So if we don't use set underscore password method here, it will not hash the password or encrypt the password as the into the PBKDF2 algorithm, as we have shown into the admin panel earlier, and it will save the data into the database like a normal text, which is the worst way of storing password into the DB. That's why we used set underscore password to encrypt the password into the PBKDF2 algorithm. After that, after saving the register the user, will return the redirect to post underscore list view, and then in the else part we just use form is equals to user registration form, which is the empty form. Then we'll use context here, which is a dictionary like object, and pass the form which we have created, and we'll now render the template or register template here using request and registration register.html. You can use blog here as well, but I place the register template inside the registration here because it is matching the name. You can also use blog here and put that create that register.html inside the blog application itself. It totally depends on you. So our register view is now completed as well, and we'll create a URL for this. So open up the urls.py file of the my site directory and register the URL for this. Should start with register and ends with $. We'll use views dot register, not the auth views, and the name equals register as well. So our URL has also been created. So finally we create a template inside the registration, right click on it and new file. We'll use register.html, and inside that we need to extend the base class, extends the base template to make this template a child template, and blog which is base.html. Then we'll use block content. Inside the block content we'll create a form here in a moment, and block just create a form here. We don't need class and action, but we do need a method equal post. After that, we'll use cross-site request 4G token so that the malicious attacks do not affect our site. Then the context variable we pass is form dot as underscore paragraph. Then the input type submit. We don't need the name attribute here, and the value should be submit as well. And the class will define here bdn outline success. So our template register template is also completed. Now go to the login template. Login template is inside the blog application templates directory. We'll need to create the register button here inside the small tag. So just write anchor tag and write register so that it will redirect us to the register page, and write the URL here. URL, write register, yeah, and we'll do some pipe, and here we'll give some break. So check if it is not giving any error. No, it is not giving any error. So open up, refresh the browser. If we go to the browser, and if we go just log out the current user, if we log in again, and we do have register button, a register anchor tag here which redirect us to the register page, registration page, and we do have username, first name, last name, email address as we have used in the field section inside the forms.py file here, and the password and confirm password here. The see enter password here, which is the attribute we have used here. It is working just fine, and the submit button here, confirm password here. So just make a new user here. We'll write Rajesh Trivedi, and first name should be Rajesh and last name should be Trivedi. We'll write the dummy email address here, and we'll pass the first we'll use the different password for the confirm password, blah blah blah, and if we submit the hit the submit button, it should give password mismatch validation error here. See, it is giving password mismatch validation here, and which we have used in the clean method here. See, it will just work when it will go to the is valid function, and after the is valid function it will automatically call the clean method to check if the password and the confirm password values are matching. We are getting these values in the clean underscore data here. Simple enough. And if we write the correct password, submit the button, we should now it redirect us to the admin panel. And if we go to the redirect us to the post list view, we go to the admin panel here, and we you log in with the super user credentials. If we go to the user sections, we do have Rajesh Trivedi available here in the first name and the last name. So now our user has been registered, and if we go to the login page, with this user credentials we can now be able to log in with this. So write Rajesh Trivedi as a username that we have created, and the password should be password at 3123, and login. The user can now be able to log in, and R is capital now of the Rajesh here. We can be able to log out as well. So we are done here with the user registration form. Guys, if you like my videos, please do subscribe my channel and share my videos more and more. So see you guys in the next video lecture.